here and C. You see that? All right. You can change. You will learn about this end later, but let's just accept it. I'm sorry, but it's too complicated to explain now. Here, see that? All right. Let's move on. So we have another statement beside the loop. We call the break. So the break statement will immediately stop your loop. It don't care about the condition. If the loop see this statement, it will exit immediately. Right? So I have 3 monitors here, so a little bit difficult for control. Yeah. So in here you have the outer loop here. This one outer and inner here. You see that? So we have an expression A and B here. So if you enter this one, the condition is correct. So you jump in the second while loop, and you need to check the condition 2. I mean the second condition. And if this condition is correct, so you jump in here and do expression A. But unfortunately, you reach this one, you get this one. So immediately, the second while loop here will be exit and will stop immediately. And you continue to do the first one. So you jump in this one, expression C, because it belongs to the first while loop. Alright? Understand that? Right? And the most important thing to remember is the break statement only work with the how can I say the direct, it only work with the second while loop here. It do not have any connection with the first one. Alright. So what is the output of the counter here? Anyone have an idea? First thing, you see that this one is while true. This one is condition true. This condition never ever become false, because true, you mean true forever. So we call it one is loop forever. Alright? And start from 0 here, the counter will become increased. The counter will increase 1 by 1 here. So, in the first step, the counter is 0. Alright? And then we increase 1 by 1. So it's moved from 0 to 1. So, but this condition is not satisfied because it not equal to number 5. So we can remove here. And this condition is still true. Yeah. So in second time, the counter become number 2. So but this condition is not correct. So we cannot jump in this one. So we repeat again. So for the third step, the counter will come to 3. Alright. And we check this condition, not satisfied. So get back here. This condition is true. Alright. So we move on to the fourth step. And then we increase the counter into 1. We get number 4 here. And we check this condition. Still not satisfied yet. So move on. Check conditions. Still true, yes, of course. So increase the counter to 1 number. Add 1 more number. So it will come to number 5 here. And then we move to this one. This is correct because the counter now have a value number 5. And number 5 equal to number 5 here. So we jump in this one. And we have a break. So break connect to this one, the while loop here. So immediately it shift the loop. You see that? So finally, the output of this program is the counter equal to 5. Okay. But keep in mind that this one is loop forever. If they do not hit break segment, they will loop forever. Okay. How this one out? I'm gonna clean. Next game. Here. Part 2 here, you see that? Oh. We have part 2 here, still loop forever. And we have an outer, we call this one the outer loop. And the part 2 here, we call inner loop. So this one, this condition is correct. So we jump in here, bring out the outer one. And this part 2 is correct. So we jump in here, bring out the inner. And we hit this one, break. So we exist the second while loop, the inner loop. Okay. And then after we exist this one, we move here, we bring down the outer 2. And we break. So we exist the first one. Okay. It's so easy. So what is the most difference between for and while? One more thing, keep in mind that what I'm gonna say, it's just correct for Python, alright? Python only, because Java and C, they are different. So you know that the most important thing you need to remember, you don't need to read all of them, just for and while. You need to remember that the number of iteration. If you want to use for loop, you need to know the number of iterations. I mean number of repetition. Because to do for loop, you need to define start and stop. So you know in advance the number of iterations. Alright? But for the while loop, you don't need to know. So my example is in here. It's in loop forever. You don't know the number of iterations. Alright? But in here, for you need to know start, stop. Alright? So finally, remember, if you want to use for loop, you need to know the number of iterations. Okay? And the second thing, because this one, so we have the second thing. Everything you write using the for loop, you can rewrite by using the while loop. But something you can write using the while loop here, you cannot rewrite by using for loop here. Alright, they are not equal. Okay. So that's enough for the branching and the loop. Let's move on to the next topic about algorithm. So the last time you learned about recipe, you learned about imperative knowledge, how to build instructions. So keep in mind that algorithms, instruction, recipe, they're the same. Yeah, exactly the same. Some textbook are using this one. Some textbook will use this one. Some textbook they talk about this one. But same meaning. Alright. So to build that, you need a sequence of simple steps. Yes. You need the follow control you have learned, and you need the time when you stop, I mean the stop condition. Alright. So you know everything to build algorithm. Okay. So the next the next thing you need to know computational problem. So keep in mind that algorithm always designed to solve a computational problem. If a problem is not computational, algorithm cannot solve it. Okay. So what is a computational problem? So computational problem is a statement. It description maybe in English. English. Yeah. The statement of problem that specify the desired output between. Specify the relationship between the input and output. So, for example, you have this one. I give you a given h number here. It's an integer number. All right. So I want to answer h is even or odd number. Okay. So we know that we have a condition here, even h integer, and the output will be the answer, even or odd. Okay. So if h is equal to 4, so it's the even number. If is 7, so it's the odd number. Okay. So but we have another problem that not a computational. For example, you have input here. This is the name of your cross, for example. Alright, your cross, the people you love. And you want to output, so the output. So it means your cross, he or she love you or not. Alright. This one is a problem, but it's not a computational problem. You cannot use Python to solve it. Okay. If I can solve this problem, I can become a billionaire soon. Just joking. So the algorithm just define a way that you can solve a computational problem. Alright. We call it, so the algorithm here, we call it computational procedure. Okay. So for example, how you can solve even and odd number? It's so easy. If h modular to 2 equal to 0, so this one will be even number. Else it's an odd number. Alright. So easy. So I give you another complex problem. We're going to positive prime number here. In a round number, 7 is a prime number. Because the 7 just divisible to 1 and 7. Number 5, 1 and 5. But number 9 is divisible by 1, 3, and 9. So it's not prime number. Okay. So how we can solve it? Before you can solve a problem, you need to know the input and the output. So the input is a positive integer number h here. So this is the input. And output, so if h is a right number, so you're gonna read now yes, otherwise we now no. Okay. So that's the computational problem. Okay, so the next thing here, you're gonna cover this problem in your homework. Right? Think about a solution for this one. And our tutor gonna introduce about this problem right after the lecture today. So let's discuss about this one. We call it cumulative algorithm. This one just so simple. It used to calculate the summation from 0 to 20 here. Alright, see that we sum here. You move from range here, we move from 0 to 19. And you calculate all the summation from 0 to 19. For example here. And the first step, at the first step we have a summation, sum equal to 0, and you do sum plus index here. So because sum equal to 0 and index is 0 here, so the sum becomes 0. And in the second step, the index becomes number 1. So that here become move from 0 to 19, so 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 19. So in the second step, we have sum plus what? Plus 1. Yes. So the sum become 1. And then the third step, the index become what? Become 2. So the sum plus 2. So we have 1 here plus 2 become 3. Yes. And move on, so on. Yeah. I will show you example. So we have the summation, they call it total. A0, somewhere here in range. Let's check number 5 for symbol. So if I bring down index here, and total equal to total plus index here, and then I'm going to bring down the total. Alright? And it's given. Oh, sorry. Let's bring down index and total. Here. So at the first step, index 0, total 0. Index 1, total 1. Index 2, total become 3. Because index plus the previous total. And then index become 3, the total becomes 6. Index become 4, total become 10. So if you calculate the summation between 0 plus 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4, it equal to 10. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 10. Okay. So the next algorithm we call sentinel value. So this sentinel value is so easy. We stop here, right, when index equal to 3. And 3 here we call it the mean data. Alright? This means you're gonna do something if you meet a special condition. So 3 is our special condition. So that's one of the description about the sentinel value, but you can read it at home. So that's it. So you want to use the sentinel value algorithm and this one cumulative in your homework. So in your homework, the homework requires you using this one and this one. So think about how to apply this one to your homework. Alright. So let's talk about the pseudocodes here. So the pseudocode is not the code, pseudocode is not real code. So the pseudocode is just the way you express your idea. You write down your idea by a language that you can understand easily. And it looks similar to Python, but not Python, not real Python. You see that? This one is not real. And the pseudocode usually start with a name here. This is the name of procedure. You can name whatever you want. So in here it means that my pseudocode is designed to solve the prime number problem. Okay. But this one is not a Python code. If you copy this one to your computer, it will raise error. This one is just the way I express my idea. Okay. So you can define your own pseudocode and express your idea. Alright. And you can send the idea to your friend, to your professor, your teacher, or something, someone you want. But not real. So why we need this one? Because this one is the way the programmers or the scientists they use to communicate with each other. Alright? It's not a real one because it's more simple than the real codes. Alright, so let's talk about the instant program. So let's get back to our program here. We have input and output. So number H here, it can be number 5, number 7, number 6, number 10, number 9. So each number here, we call that an instant program of the prime number program. So here we have an input H. So each number here is just an instant of H. And keep in mind that your algorithm is set to be correct if and only if they correct for all instant program. So for example, if your codes can be correct for number 5 and number 7, but if wrong for number 6, what happens? Your algorithm will be incorrect. Alright? It's going to cover all the natural numbers in the world. Okay? Now, if you don't understand, our tutor is going to introduce about it in more detail later, soon. Okay, let's talk about a new topic. This is we call string. So last time, until now, you know that we have a data type here at the time. In Python, we have a data type here. After here, right here you have multiple elements. But exactly the same, no different. Single or duplicate, similar. Okay, alright. You can read about it all. It's so easy to understand, but I want to introduce about the ASCII table. You know that computer cannot understand the character. They do not know ABC. No, the computer doesn't understand ABC. So to work with a character, the scientists they assign to each character here a number. You see that? The A equals to number 97 inside your computer. And the uppercase A here equal to 65 inside the computer. Your computer look at the number 65, not look at 8. Alright. Similarly, we have a 32 here this one. It is space. Yeah. And if you use the 97 minus 65, it equal to 32. Yeah. Similarly, if we have a B, uppercase B plus 32 is equal to 98. This is a small b. Okay. So next one. How do you think test 1 and test 2? Which one greater? Which one is bigger? Which one bigger? Who think this one is bigger? Can you raise your hand? Who think this one bigger? Now you don't have idea. Well, yeah, you can guess which one bigger. Which one bigger? Test 1 and test 2. You can see this one is longer, so it's bigger. Yeah. Who think it correct? Raise your hand. You. Okay, you. Anyone else? You see here to compare string. I'm going to write down A, B, C, E, F, and then C. So for string comparison, we compare each element together. A here, they are equal. A equal to A, but B here, which one bigger? B bigger or C bigger? Yeah, C bigger. You start now, oh man, you see that here? B 98, C 99. Yeah, C bigger, of course. Yes. So because this one is bigger, so immediately the Python will conclude the test 2 bigger than test 1, even though test 2 smaller, shorter than test 1. Okay? Because they have a C here. Okay. How about this one? Which one bigger? Which one bigger? Test 2? Yeah, because here. A, B, C, E, F, they're equal, but test 2 longer. So it's bigger. Okay. You can read about this at home. Okay. So from now, from this week, your homework will be different. Difficult. It's really difficult. I promise. So to solve it, the first step you need to do is you need to pay attention to your question. Read it carefully. All right. And then try to do some example by yourself. Try to generate your own example. Think about your own example. Try to solve it by your hand, by yourself first. And you can create your own solution, but using the pseudocode instead of using the computer. Just the paper and pen. That's it. After you get we call root fork solution here. Root fork solution, it means the stupid solution. Just stupid one. So then when you get a stupid one, you can optimize later. Okay? And then try to test your optimal solution with your examples. And then finally write a beautiful code. Alright? So keep in mind that why beautiful code, because when you write your codes, only 2 people know what is it and what does it mean. That is you, all right? You write it, so you know it. And I said the second people is God. God know what you write. But after 3 weeks, or maybe 3 days, there are only 1 people know what you have done. That's God. You will forget everything you did before, right? So try to write your code very beautiful, make it beautiful. So when you get it back, you can easily to understand what you have done. Okay? If your code is ugly, massive, so when you get it back, you cannot understand what you did. Ironic, yeah? Because when I'm young, my codes was very ugly, and after 3 months, I get it back. I cannot understand what I have done. All right. So that's it for today. So next time, before we move to the quiz, our tutor going to introduce you how to deal with your homework. Okay.
2차 숙제 그 소개를 맡은 TA 예과 2학년 김라고 합니다. 기본적으로 이 풍문을 오늘 그냥 이 풍문을 쓸 때는 조금 조심할 필요가 있어요. 그 다음 유명한 사진인데 아마 아실 분들은 아시겠지만 마트 가서 우유 사고 만약에 아보카도 있으면 6개 사와라는 말을 했다고 해봅시다. 그럼 정상적인 사람이라면 일단 우유를 하나 사고 아보카도가 있으면 아보카도 6개를 사겠죠. 마트에 가서 아보카도가 있는 걸 발견한 사람은 정확히는 컴퓨터라고 해야겠죠. 이런 일이 있을 겁니다. 그리고 한마디를 거는 거죠. 아보카도 있었어. 자, 하여튼 오늘 이제 2주차 숙제를 보다 보면은 1, 2, 3번은 1, 2, 3번 같은 경우에는 이제 그냥 쓰시면 되는 거고요. 4번, 5번, 6번은 아마